We are live right here on the DRN for the first round of the Elite Seniors Racing Championship presented by RaceMRL.com and Ruck Offshore. I am your host, Tim Dayton. We are bringing you along for the ride right here, like I said, on the DRN. And we're going to get right to the action. With the heat races. As qualifying, I believe, is wrapping up here. Keith Kincaid, the Season 4 ESRC, I apologize, overall champion Keith Kincaid and that number 17 machine taking the pole in single car qualifying. We're going to take a short break right here on the DRN. You stay right there. We're back live and rolling here for heat race number 1 of the ESRC Elite Late Model Dirt Tour. Your starting grid for heat race number 1 is as follows. Starting on the pole, Keith Kincaid in that beautiful Flamin' Hot Cheetos number 17 machine. Starting second, Andy Patton in that beautiful A&J number 87. Row number 2, rolling off from position number the wrong starting lineup, folks. That's nice. Starting in position number 3 is that beautiful number 31 of Chris Farmer. Starting 4th is Greg Parmalee in that beautiful number 04. Starting 5th, not Chris Farmer, Brett McCoy. Starting 6th on the outside, Quinn McLean, and rounding out the field, Tim McDowell. As we get the green flag for heat race number 1 underway. Keith Kincaid out to an early lead as they go down the backstretch for the first time. Kincaid leads them down as the battle is on for second. 3-car battle, 3 cars under a blanket. Andy Patton. Oh, Parmalee shoves Farmer up the racetrack as the battle is now on for third as Parmalee and Chris Farmer in that number 31 go at it. Parmalee in trouble here. Farmer's going to soar around on the outside as Parmalee looks to continue it there. Looks maybe like a damaged wheel, possibly. as the battle on for the first spot now as Andy Patton looks to catch Keith Kincaid, the overall champion for last season, with 6 laps to go. Here in Charlotte for heat race number 1, right here on DRN. As McCoy takes that 5th spot. McLean in 6th, and in 7th is Tim McDowell. Keith Kincaid continues to stretch out his lead, a 1.2 second lead, 1.4 seconds now. Looks to have some trouble. Pat in some trouble there. Chris Farmer 2 seconds back behind the leader. Parmalee 3 seconds back behind Kincaid. 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go for Keith Kincaid for heat race number 1. Through turns 3 and 4. White flag in the air for Kincaid. And it looks to be all Keith Kincaid. Checkered flag in the air. Keith Kincaid wins heat race number 1. The unofficial results for heat race number 1 here. Keith Kincaid in that number 17. Andy Patton in the number 87. Finishing 3rd, Chris Farmer in that beautiful red and black number 31. Finishing 4th, the 04 of Greg Parmalee. 5th, Brett McCoy. And on to heat race number 2. A great first heat race that was. The starting lineup for heat race number 2 is as follows. And it's wrong again. So Scott Tice on the front row alongside the 71 of Chris Reinald. Row number 2, David Brill starting in that 3rd spot in that beautiful number 88 machine. The 94 of Gary Offit in that number 94, starting position number 4. 5th is Rob Cassidy in the number 68 machine. And starting scratch, Russell Harrell in that number 19 machine. Has 1 lap to green here. 10 laps on the board. Pace car pulls down pit road. Looks like we're going to be going green this time by. Reinald, Tice, starting off heat race number 2. Green flag in the air. And they are side by side, are Brill and Reinald, as Tice gets an early lead down the back stretch. Reinald and Brill, I believe, are still side by side for position number 2. Position number 3, Offit and Cassidy fighting for the 4th spot. Oh, they get into each other. Trouble for Reinald as Tice continues to pull away a 1 second lead for Scott Tice out of Avon, Mississippi. That beautiful bright blue and white number 24 machine. As Brill continues to keep that 2nd spot over Chris Reinald and Gary Offit. Tice, no challenge out back, a 1 second lead over David Brill early on. 13 cars on the property today here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the opener for the Elite Late Model Dirt Tour. We'll be back on Wednesday right here on the DRN as well for the asphalt side of the Elite Seniors Racing League presented by RaceMRL.com. Scott Tice continues to lead, a 1.1 second lead over David Brill. 1.2 now. Maybe trouble here for David Brill. No, Brill's cruising here as the battle is on for position number 3. Reinald and Offit going at it. Now position number 2 slides in there, does Chris Reinald. But the position maybe gonna, 3 cars under a blanket there. Cassidy, Offit, and Reinald. The battle is on right there. Cassidy slides it in there. As Russell passes Cassidy. White flag in the air for Tice. The battle is on for that 3rd spot. As Reinald and Offit going at it. But off of corner number 4, Scott Tice wins heat race number 2. And to the line, Chris Reinald keeps that 3rd spot. The unofficial results, Scott Tice, David Brill, Chris Reinald, Gary Offit, Russell Harold, and rounding out the field is Rob Cassidy. Hell of a heat race for the 2nd heat race of the night. Let's take a great look at that Brett McCoy machine. Brett McCoy out of Poplar Grove, Illinois. That beautiful Finnegan's RV. Nielsen Racing left-hander chassis number 1. Take another look at some of the other cars in the field. The 04 of Greg Parbley out of Kansas City. And that K2 Motorsports Tipsy Tim's Young Gun Creations number 04. Hey, it's still top of the board. Cassidy with a 14.905. Great lap time from him there. Only a 10th off the leader. Speaking of Keith Kincaid, out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in that K2 Motorsports Flamin' Hot Cheetos Elite Seniors Racing Championship number 17 for Kincaid. Let's take a look at somebody who had a great showing in heat race number 2. Chris Reinald. And the number 71 out of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And the Glenn Stiers Racing G-Force TV Ed Carley Motorsports and Victory Sim Racing number 71. Beautiful machine. Reinald looking pretty good out here tonight. So far, had a pretty good showing in heat race number 1. Kincaid Reinald going back and forth here in warm-up. Slide job, beautiful slider from Kincaid. Back under goes Reinald. Guys, this is only the warm-ups, my friends. We have 35 laps of side-by-side dirt racing action right here on the DRN. We will be right back after these messages. as we are back right here on the DRN after that short little break for the Elite Seniors Racing Championship presented by RaceEmerald.com. Only race number 1 of the championship for the ESRC Elite Dirt Late Model Tour right here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's take a look at that number 87, Andy Patton, in that beautiful number 87 machine out of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, in the Patton's Triple X Tire Shine A&J Custom Creations Checkered Flag RC Track and Tipsy Tim's Distillery number 87 for Andy Patton. As we are getting to the feature event here tonight, 35 laps on tap, and here is your starting lineup. Starting on the front row in the number 17 Flaming Hot Cheetos K2 Motorsports machine, it is Keith Kincaid alongside Scott Tice in the number 24. Row number 2, Andy Patton, again in that beautiful 87 machine, the A&J Custom Creations number 87, alongside David Brill. Row number 3, starting in position number 5, Chris Farmer alongside Chris Reinald, who had a great showing in heat race number 2. Row number 4, Greg Parmalee in that beautiful number 04, alongside Gary Offutt in position number 8. Brett McCoy in position number 9, alongside Russell Harold in position number 10. Quinn McLean in the number 21, alongside Rob Cassidy. And Tim McDowell rounds out your 13-car field here tonight. You've seen him on the Elite Seniors Racing Championship channel on Shaggy's channel, but now you're going to see him live and in person on the DRN. And these are the ESRC Elite Dirt Late Model Tour, ready to go for 35 laps. Keith Kincaid lines them up and lets them go. Green flag in the air for 35 times around. Kincaid leads it early. Off to a beautiful lead. Scott Tice files in for second position as a battle for the third spot. David Brill and Andy Patton fight for position number 3. As double file all the way around. As it looks to be Chris Farmer coming up for position number 4 here underneath Andy Patton. Slide job, no, not going to get it done. Parmalee looking to make his way through the field as well. Didn't get the greatest qualifying effort here. Looks to continue it. Parmalee continues to make his way through the field. Farmer battles alongside Greg Parmalee here for the 5th spot. As side by side is now David Brill and Andy Patton. Not anymore. Brill takes that spot. And it looks like Tice getting ever so close to that number 17 machine. But not close enough. A beautiful battle here throughout the field. 3 cars under a blanket, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's David Brill, Andy Patton, and Chris Farmer in the 88, 87, and 31 respectively. As Kincaid out to a 7/10 lead and just pulls away on the straightaway. Just crazy straightaway speed from Keith Kincaid. But Scott Tice pulling him in, reeling him in here with 27 laps to go for the ESRC. Race number 1 of the Elite Late Model Dirt Tour. As we cycle through the field, Chris Farmer there, the number 31. Greg Parmalee. And a beautiful side-by-side battle between Chris Rydall and Brett McCoy here for the 7th spot. As they battle side-by-side, coming up on Andy Patton there. There's a 1-second lead for Kincaid with 24 laps to go. Ooh, tags the wall a little bit. Does Rydall on the outside of Andy Patton. As McCoy files in behind them. Rydall takes that 6th spot away from Andy Patton. Chris Farmer continues to make his way through the field. With 20 laps to go. Or, I'm sorry, 21 laps to go as Keith Kincaid continues to lead the race. As we go on board with him here. Kincaid just on rails tonight for race number 1 of the tour. Obviously, your season 4 overall champion for asphalt and dirt. Won that last season in season number 4. Looking to do the same in season number 5. A brand new start with the Elite Seniors Racing Championship. And a beautiful battle here between Gary Offit and Rob Cassidy, but Cassidy gets in the wall, wrecks it out. I'm not sure if that's going to be a yellow. Yes, it will. That tightens up the field once again. Rob Cassidy, unfortunate, just rips the right front. Was telling me earlier that I'd see a right front be ripped off tonight. Didn't believe it. Rob Cassidy, unfortunately, is that car that was involved. Let's take another look. Just unfortunate. Gary Offit got in that as well. Gonna take a look back at that there. As it looks like him and Offit just got into it a little bit. Yeah. Cassidy just got into the wall and there was nothing he could do. Just destroyed the right front and it wasn't going to turn anymore. Unfortunate circumstances, but it looks like he's back out there. Our first caution of the night. Early on, Keith Kincaid leads every lap so far. Right here on the DRN. Scott Tice, position number 2. David Brill continues to sit position number 3. Chris Farmer, position number 4. Greg Parmalee, great bounce back here. As Parmalee and Rydall are in row number 3. Leads them down. Keith Kincaid, green flag back in the air. Kincaid leads them down. Brill looks to take that 2nd spot away from Scott Tice as he battles back on the inside, does Scott Tice. Tice and Brill, 4 or 5 cars under a blanket. Brill goes back to the inside. Slide job on Scott Tice. Tice crosses him over. They make contact. Brill and Tice going at it, but it looks like Tice had some issues. Tice seems to be out of the race with damage. Yes, he is. Unfortunate And the yellow flag comes out for Scott Tice. As it looks like Chris Farmer was also involved. Unfortunate. They were all under a blanket like that. Just got into David Brill. Oh, tough break for both of those cars. Chris Farmer was doing pretty good there. Unfortunate for the number 31 machine, as Keith Kincaid has led every lap so far with no looking back in that Flamin' Hot Cheetos number 17. The iRacing pace truck makes its way around, as we'll look at the top 5 very quickly here. Keith Kincaid in the number 17, currently the leader. David Brill, strong effort right now. Had a great battle with Tice before the wreck. Sits position number 2. Parmalee gained 2 spots there in the 04 for position number 3. Brett McCoy started pretty far back in the field. Sits in position number 4 right now as they double up. Reinald sits position number 5. Had a great battle with McCoy early on in the race, as it looks like Andy Patton sits position number 6. Looking to continue here. Dominance for Keith Kincaid. We will just have to see. Green flag for Kincaid. Just pulls off. Green flag back in the air. 14 laps to go. As Parmalee battles for position number 2 over David Brill, takes the spot away. Brill looks to take it back side by side through turns 3 and 4. Almost 3 wide with Brett McCoy there, as they're letting Keith pull away. Beautiful battle for the 3rd spot here. Or for the 4th spot between Reinald and Brett McCoy, as the 2nd spot under fire as well. Reinald gets into contact with David Brill. Kincaid continues to lead, as Parmalee sits position number 2. Brill and Reinald fighting for position number 3 side by side as they come off the corner. Contact there, slamming doors, as Andy Patton gets in the mix with 11 laps to go. As Kincaid crosses the line here, 10 laps to go. 2 hands in the air from the official, as the yellow flag is out. Looks like Tim McDowell, Chris Reinald make contact there. Unfortunate. Reinald has a right front torn off the machine. Gonna pull into the pits. Let's take a look at that right here on DRN. And they were side by side there, and just contact with the wall for Reinald. Rips the right front off. Oh, that definitely did it. And McDowell just nowhere to go, I believe, there, as the right front gone off that machine. Let's see what happened to McDowell. Is McDowell running by himself? And it looks like he just loses it, maybe. Oh, McDowell got into the parts of, I believe that was, oh, hard hit, as it looked like Farmer. And I believe Farmer was the one that got into contact with the wall. 3 separate cars involved in that incident. Just unfortunate. As the 3rd caution of the race underway here with 10 laps to go. We had just crossed for 10 laps to go. Kincaid gonna lead him down on the restart here. iRacing pace car. Pace truck pulls off. Green flag back in the air. Kincaid leads him down, but Brill and Parmalee still side by side for position number 2. They make contact into the wall. Brill out of it. Big wreck behind them. Parmalee, it looks like, Gary Offit, big wreck. Will that be a caution? No, 9 laps to go here. Keith Kincaid, and now the caution comes out with 9 laps to go. Unfortunate for all those cars. Scott Tice a lap down. McDowell 4 laps down. Farmer's still in the pits. Let's take a look at what happened there. Just unfortunate. Take a look back. DRN replay at this restart. Just those two make contact going into turn number 2, and Parmalee just nowhere to go. And it looks like the 94 went up and over that other car. I don't know who that was. It looks like the 21 of Quinn McLean. No, Scott Tice gets in it as well. Just unfortunate for all those cars. Gary Offit stuck in the pits now. Or I'm sorry, not stuck in the pits, but he is 9 seconds back in the 9th spot. Just not his night. Scott Tice was looking so good early on. Just not his night here. So grab your popcorn, grab your drinks. This is going to be a good one here. With 9 laps to go, the pace truck pulls down. As Kincaid single file, restart green flag back in the air for the Elite Late Model Dirt Tour for the ESRC. Brill takes that 2nd spot as McCoy fights him. Now to the inside goes Brett McCoy. As a battle behind them between Rod Cassidy, great bounce back here from his early wreck. Russell Harold, Chris Reinald, Cassidy and Russell make contact. He turns them into the wall. Goes Harold. As the battle's still up front, Keith Kincaid takes that 1st position with 6 laps to go. 2nd spot. Brett McCoy in the 3rd spot. Chris Reinald, great bounce back after that wreck there. Brill, also a great bounce back there. But Keith Kincaid has led the way so far. Closed out a bit there. Pat gains something on the Season 4 champion. Kincaid's lead down to 6/10. 5/10 now. Patton looking to make it a showstopper. 3 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway's dirt track. Patton looks to do something here between him and Keith Kincaid. 2 laps to go for Kincaid. As passing through lap cars. 1 lap to go for Kincaid. As the battle is settled for the 3rd spot. Keith Kincaid off of turns 3 and 4. Going to be victorious here in round number 1 at Charlotte. Andy Patton comes home 2nd. 3rd is Brett McCoy. P4, Chris Reinald. Congratulations to Kincaid here as the top 3 line up on the front stretch. For the Team Holloway victory lane right here at Charlotte. We will be right back shortly to talk to your race winners. so you know, I can't drag anybody in. If you could, Keith, if you could move Brandon first, that'd be great.
Hey, Tim, you got me?
Yeah, we are here with our third place finisher here tonight, Brett McCoy. Brett, you had a great race tonight. You know, got into some pretty good battles there towards the end. Tell us about it.
Career best. I just started driving the dirt cars last year. I struggle at these, but the last couple tracks I've actually felt pretty comfortable, and I might have had a little for Andy, but I don't really know how to pass. So I was just trying to stick it in there without hitting them. But man, it's a blast. I had a great time.
Yeah, you looked pretty good out there, especially battling Andy towards the start of the race, and even when you were battling Chris Reinhold. Any sponsors you would like to shout out here while we have the time?
I just like to thank you for putting the broadcast on, Keith and Rob for running the league. My wife for letting me race damn near every night of the week now without getting too mad. And shout out to my dad. He's always watching on the broadcast. So he probably got a kick out of this one tonight. So hopefully he enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, it was a great race you put on here, and congratulations on your third place finish.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hold on, let me switch cars. Hold on. I'm new to all this. As we are here with our second place finisher here this evening, Andy Patton. Andy, you looked great tonight. You know, rolling on the top side definitely for a little bit there, and even rolling on the bottom. Tell us about your race.
Thanks, buddy. It was a challenge, man. I mean, I hit that inside tire early in the race, so I had to get a fast repair. Went to the back, just a few wrecks on the way back up, and I, as is always the case, I didn't have nothing for Keith. Nobody did. Nobody was going to catch him. That's about the norm anyway. But yeah, it was a good race. It was fun. I had a blast.
Yeah, Keith made a little mistake towards the end, and it looked like you were about to capitalize there. And I was honestly, I feel like most of the broadcasts, you know, most of the fans out there were probably rooting for you to finally take down the season 4 overall champion there. Any sponsors
Yeah.
you would like to shout out before we get to
Yeah.
Keith?
There's my number one sponsor is Tipsy Tim's Moonshine. But second right up there with him is Patton Triple X. We do tire shine, kind of soften up your tire. Specialize in right rear, using moonshine for that. I won't say that it's supplied by Tim because that would be illegal. But welcome aboard, Tim. It's good to have you, man. I was
I
listening to your
appreciate.
broadcast, and I think you did an excellent job there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Congratulations on your second place finish, Andy.
Thank you, man.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I had my mic unmuted when I was talking to Andy before I started the interview. So learning, we'll figure it out. All right, I'm gonna unmute the desktop audio and the mic. As we are here with the winner of tonight's race in the Cheetos Flaming Hot number 17 K2 Motorsports machine, Keith Kincaid. Keith, you had a great night. You know, obviously you're the season 4 overall champion for ESRC. You know, how'd the car feel tonight? You looked pretty good out there.
Yeah, Tim, car felt wonderful tonight. It's always great to kick off another season with a great run. Track really came in. I always run good here, so yeah, very happy with our results.
Yeah, you honestly, it looked like Andy had a little bit for you towards the end. It looked like he made a little bit of a mistake trying to get through the lap traffic there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the track kind of got closed up pretty quick, and had to make a last minute dive to the inside to get around a couple of lap cars with a little bit of damage. So yeah, we almost threw it away right there, but we come out good, so can't complain.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Actually, before we go, any sponsors you would like to thank here, Keith?
Sure. Yeah, I'd like to thank all of our racers here at the Elite ESCR Racing. Appreciate all the guys coming out and supporting us, and then our series sponsors too: Checkered Flag RC Speedway, K2 Motorsports, RD Ranch, Ruck Offshore, MRL for their support, Team Holloway Racing and Graphics, and Wiley Slot Car Track. Appreciate those guys pitching in, contributing, and helping us make this league a reality. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on your win here tonight, Keith. And that will wrap up race number 1 here for the Elite Dirt Tour for the ESRC. We will see you all next time right here on the DRN.